Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and in this video, I'll be profiling a couple of minutes of this clip from the Hills YouTube channel titled Aliens Tailing Biden, question mark, UFOs spotted hovering near Air Force One in LA. And hey, this is just another signs of the times, another recorded incident of a so-called UFO, which over the last couple of years, there's been such an uptick in UFO sightings all across the planet that even these governments have had to admit to their existence and, even their knowledge of them. They've also been talking about creating UFO task forces. And also, what have you seen? The creation of space forces, which, they say it's for combating Russian and Chinese satellites. But best believe that those at the very top, that really run the system, know exactly what these so-called UFOs are. They're the chariots of the Most High, the heavenly vehicles that his son, Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus, as well as the angels, are going to return in to do two things: make war against the heathen nations, chiefly the biblical Edomites, or these so-called white people who are currently in rulership, and also save the elect of the nation of Israel, the nation of Israel consisting of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners who look like these heathen nations. And it's very significant that a so-called UFO was spotted by Air Force One, which of course is the president's plane. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 43. The king of Babylon, and that's speaking of the virgin daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, the United States of America. And when you think of the king of Babylon, you think of who? The president. But hey, the real king of Babylon are these elites that run America behind the scenes, like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, et cetera, et cetera. But, these lower level political figures and military figures, are their face that do their bidding. And they're all in the know of the chariots. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them. Heard the report of who? The men of the Lord, the prophets of the Most High, out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles online, speaking of the chariots of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai and what they're coming to do. Hence, why these governments have had to admit to their existence and why they're coming up with these space forces to ultimately try to combat the second coming of the Son of the Most High. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. With this uptick of chariot sightings all across the planet and the prophets out on the highways and byways preaching this word, hey, the powers that be are getting nervous out here. As it says in Revelation 12, verse 12, that devil, Esau, Edom, specifically the elites, are about to come down in great wrath because they know it that they hath but a short time. These elites know that their time's almost up for rulership. Again, the prophets are out, and you have the children of Israel waking up. Chariot sightings and these prophecies coming to their fulfillment. So now they're scrambling to what? Fulfill their NW0, that GREATRESET, and do whatever they can to avert prophecy and fight the second coming of the Most High. Anguish took hold on him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. And best believe over the decades that these chariots have been spotted, well, not spotted, but have been seen by these officials and these other higher ups, whether from their planes, their boats, or any other location they're in. And like I said, they're coming to do two things. On the one hand, save the elect of the nation of Israel, and on the other hand, make war against the heathens, chiefly you Edomites. This is Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, like a destructive force, to render his anger with fury and his rebukes with flames of fire, bringing that great judgment, that great death, and that great destruction. And those chariots are going to be shooting concentrated fire or so-called laser beams, onto these different military vehicles and onto these wicked people out here. But now let's get back to this clip. And this is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes.
UFO spotted? A UFO hovering over Air Force One at LAX during President Joe Biden's fundraising trip to Los Angeles earlier this week has allegedly been caught on camera. Per the Daily Mail, the object was described as a white or silver sphere seen hovering near the president's jet.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Los Angeles is known as what? The city of angels.
According to the Daily Mail, eyewitnesses spotted an LAPD helicopter circling the, quote, stationary object. Joining us to discuss this exciting development is Harvard's esteemed physicist, Dr. Avi Loeb. Welcome, Dr. Loeb, back to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's a great pleasure.
So what do you think we are seeing there on the camera? What could potentially explain this, and could it be an unidentified aerial flying object the way people have expected?
Yeah, the fundamental question is whether it's human-made or something from outside of this earth, but I would assume that it must be human-made
I will say this real quick. To those in the know, you've heard about Project Bluebeam, where the powers that be, are going to try to fake an alien invasion to what? Get all the people united under an NW0. Remember what Ronald Reagan said, the only thing that could unite humanity was an alien invasion. So in these great times of deception, we do have to use discernment. This could have very well have been a orchestrated event, or, could have been the real thing, a chariot. But with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures, we do know that the king of Babylon, these different presidents, because like I said earlier, best believe, chariots have been cited, by these different higher ups throughout the decades. And the ultimate king of Babylon, the elites, they've heard the report of them, the prophets, and they see all the words that the prophets have been speaking about taking place in real time. So what? They are scared. They are waxing feeble out here, and they're going to try to prepare accordingly. But they're not going to be able to withstand the anger and the fury and the rebukes of flames of fire of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai from his chariots that are coming like a whirlwind. Just a quick side note.
And then, of course, we need better data. We need to look at better images and not obtained from just people who happen to be at the right place at the right time, but with scientific instruments. So I reserve my judgment. I should say we have about 100,000 objects over the past month that we monitored with the Galileo Project Observatory at Harvard University, and we are applying very careful analysis using
over 100,000 objects. And there was a report that came out a couple of years ago saying that there were 144,000 reported incidences of unidentified flying objects. And what? 144,000, was that head body of the elect of the nation of Israel, the governing body in the kingdom of heaven, underneath Yahweh Bahashem
machine learning to figure out whether we are looking at natural objects like birds or human-made objects like drones, balloons, airplanes. And you would expect those human-made objects to be around the president's airplane. The question is whether we recognize it. I mean, our people know what it is. And if not, whether it's some adversarial country. I mean, we know about the Chinese spy balloon that was shut down almost a year ago.
Now, the object's been likened to Reaper drones used in the Middle East. I can imagine a world where the military is monitoring the skies around the president's Air Force One jet, but I can also imagine a world where extraterrestrial life is interested in figures like the President of the United States. There have been increased UFO sightings around nuclear facilities.
Hey, the king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands wax feeble. But listen to this next thing she's going to say, because it also lines up with biblical
Where
prophecy.
extraterrestrial life is interested in figures like the President of the United States. There have been increased UFO sightings around nuclear facilities. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence as to which side I
Increased UFO sightings near nuclear facilities, which, that's been happening since,
fall
the
on.
1950s.
I haven't seen Reaper drones in use in person, but which way do you fall when you think about something like this? We assume that it is human man-made, but what do you make of the UFOs being sighted more around nuclear facilities and now potentially the president's Air Force One jet?
Let's go to some precepts real quick, because nuclear weapons being used during World War III and World War III itself are also a part of biblical prophecy. Read Revelation 9, verse 12, and, Joel chapter 2, verses 1 to 8, which we're about to go into. And also, the chariots are going to have a hand in controlling those nukes when they start flying and guiding them to their appropriate targets. This is Joel chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain, which is exactly what the men of the Lord, the prophets of the Most High, are doing. And hey, as we get closer and closer to the end, if the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is dealing with you, you can clearly see that his spirit is resting on GMS, or Great Millstone, who are breaking down these scriptures in 144% accuracy. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. And this is speaking of those nuclear weapons. There hath not been ever the like, talking about how these nuclear weapons didn't come about until very recently, beginning with those 2 atomic bombs dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima during that second woe, World War II. Neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. When these nations go to shoot those nukes, hey, every single one is going to be used. And after the dust settles, Yahushai and the 144,000 in those spiritual bodies, when they come off the chariots, being like the Viltrumites from Invincible, are going to begin enslaving you heathen nations, starting with your elites. And, Abarat Zam up that number. We're never going to allow you to build weapons of war anymore. A fire devoureth before them, that warhead at the front of the missile, and behind them a flame burneth, the rocket booster. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. The land looks normal. Cities, parks, people, life going on as usual. And behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. Lands being turned into desolate wastelands like Mad Max. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. And what horses and horsemen or chariots devour like a flame of fire, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their faces the people shall be much pained. When those alerts and sirens go out saying, seek shelter now, people are going to be in an uproar, in a panic, knowing that in the next couple of minutes, The next couple of seconds, they're about to cease from existence. All faces shall gather blackness, or ash, or soot, getting burned up by those nukes. But here's the point. Verse 7, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone in his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Hey, all those missiles are going to reach their designated targets because, like I just said, the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, through the chariots are going to be controlling those missiles. And like that lady in that clip said, there's been a lot of reported sightings of UFOs around nuclear weapons silos and stations. And I've done videos in the past, recording those events where people in the US and in Russia recorded UFO sightings and said that out of nowhere, the launch sequences started and then they weren't able to shut it off until the UFOs, the chariots, decided to shut it off and then disappeared. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. The sword being those anti-missile defense systems, which the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai through the chariots are also going to be on in that day to fail in certain instances to allow those missiles to reach their targets without any problems. Mainly Babylon, the United States of America, which is going to get hit by 200 million nuclear missiles and turned into a completely desolate wasteland from sea to shining sea. Now I'm going to jump to Psalms chapter 58 and jump around a bit. And the header reads, prayer for the punishment of the wicked, and the wicked according to the scriptures. The border of wickedness in Malachi 1 verse 4, and the wicked whom the earth has been given into the hands of in Job 9 verse 24, are you Edomites? I'm going to jump down to verse 6. Break their teeth, O power, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh. And a lion's teeth are its main forms of weaponry. So what? Break their military might, O Yahweh. Break their great teeth. Verse 7, let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, go to shoot those nuclear missiles, which in the scriptures, those arrows are also symbolic for the nukes. Let them be as cut in pieces. During that third woe, when these nations are shooting their nukes, the spirit is going to be on those missiles, guiding them to not break their ranks and reach their targets. And what? It's going to be on it's going to be on some of those missiles to what? When they go to bend at the bow to shoot their arrows, to what? That they shall be cut in pieces. Some of those arrows or missiles are going to malfunction, so they can't get them all off. And then what? The spirit is also going to be on those anti-missile defense systems, mainly in the United States of America, to fail, so that when those mighty men go to fall on that sword, those anti-missile defense systems, they shall not be wounded. They'll be able to hit their targets without any problems.
Well, I'm just like you. I'm not decided yet because obviously there are people within the military and the intelligence agencies that are talking about objects they cannot identify. And I was at the Washington National Cathedral with Avril Haines, the director of national intelligence, and I asked her, I said, you submitted reports to Congress about these unidentified anomalous phenomena. And you have a bachelor's degree in physics from the University of Chicago. What do you make of these objects? What's your gut feeling? And she said, I don't know. Now, one thing is clear. There are lots of objects in the sky, and most of them are likely to...
I said with that clip, you get the point. But hey, this is just another example that we truly are living in the biblical times, the last seconds of these last days, where everything is being revealed. Who the children of Israel are, who the wicked are, you Edomites, and what these UFOs are, the chariots, and that their appearance is becoming more prevalent out here because they're getting ready to save the elect of the nation of Israel and to also render the anger and fury of Yahweh with those rebukes and flames of fire. But now I'm going to close it out in Revelation chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 1, and the header reads, the revelation or the revealing of, it says Jesus Christ there, but we know that the Son of the Most High's true name is Yahawashi. So the revelation of Yahawashi Hamashiach, the anointed, which the Most High gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he set and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, Yahawashi coming with the angels, with a fleet of chariots. And in the scriptures, clouds can be synonymous for the chariots. This is Psalms 104. I was going to read 1 verse 2, but I'll just jump to 3. Well, I'll read the first verse. Bless Yahweh, O my soul. O Yahweh, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. Verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Behold, he cometh with clouds, with chariots, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Because reincarnation is biblical. Those centurions, those Roman centurions in the past, they are reincarnated, in these current times to receive their judgment from Yahawashi. And hey, to you Edomites out there that complain, about you getting blamed for slavery, or whenever you hear the prophets saying you're going to pay for what your forefathers did, again, reincarnation is biblical, and you are your forefathers coming back in this time. You committed those wicked acts in the past, and now you're about to receive your punishment for them. And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds or nations of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Aman, because Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi is coming to render that anger and fury with rebukes and flames of fire, to make war against you heathens, chiefly you Edomites, and take down this system and set up that new system, beginning with the elect of the nation of Israel, whom those chariots are also going to save. But that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala,